Goshen, New York is a small village in the middle of the Hudson Valley and the county seat of Orange County. Established in the early 1800s, like many towns and villages in the area, Goshen features a charming downtown full of restaurants, shops, and other local businesses.
Hi, my name is Kyle Roddey. I'm the mayor of the Village of Goshen.
But Mayor Kyle Roddey is not exactly your average politician. When he was elected in 2011, he was just 25 years old.
I always had an interest in my hometown. I grew up in the Village of Goshen. I just had a wonderful experience. I loved Goshen schools, and I went away to college, came back home, and my goal is to become a teacher. So I started taking my master's classes right away. So while I was taking my master's classes, I got a job running a bar restaurant to pay the bills and really enjoyed it. But I started paying attention to what was going on locally, and I disagreed with some of the decisions government was making at that time. So I decided instead of just complaining about it, I would get involved. And I ran for village trustee. So I was 23 at the time, and I ran against two incumbents, and I knocked on a whole lot of doors, shook a lot of hands, and I was fortunate enough to get elected. So I served as village trustee for 2 years, and then 2 years after that, I ran for mayor and was elected.
Like any village, Goshen has seen its share of challenges. When Kyle first took office, Goshen was struggling with mounting infrastructure costs.
We had the sewer issue, which isn't something that's very sexy to talk about, and not something 23-year-old Kyle was really interested in, but the more I learned, the more frustrated I became. The village had this sewer plant that was brand new. They had just built, but the result of that was everyone's bills went up, and people were unhappy about the bills going up. But there was also a lot of other contentious issues surrounding sewer. We had a failing infrastructure system. There was a landfill that we had to get rid of. So there's all these big picture items, and the can was just getting kicked down the road. And I wanted to, make a life here. This was my hometown. I wanted to be my always town, and I wanted to make sure that those situations were remedied.
Kyle continues to wear several hats. In addition to village mayor, Kyle is also a middle school social studies teacher as well as a restaurant manager.
It's all time management. There's always that phrase, if you want something to get done, give it to a busy person. Because, I'm fortunately, and it took a while to develop these skills, I can manage my time. And I know, if you look at my calendar, I have things scheduled in 15-minute increments at times. Just to keep me focused, I try to limit social media as best I can, which is hard in this day and age, especially when you have 24/7 access to social media. But, it's about managing time and prioritizing.
One issue facing Goshen is the coming construction of Legoland, which some residents see as a boon to the local job market, but others view with concern about straining the village's traffic and infrastructure.
My job is to maximize the benefits for the village and minimize the potential negatives. So when they were going through and they were looking at traffic in certain areas, we asked them, make sure you're looking at these areas in the village as well, because those will have an impact. We ended up working out a wonderful sewer and water contract with Legoland. We've negotiated an agreement with Legoland where they're going to pay for us to develop a brand new well on the property we own. So they're going to pay for it to be built, they're going to pay us for the water, and we're going to have more water at the end of the day. So it's a home run for us.
Over the years, Kyle has been able to expand his role from being a problem solver to being an innovator, bringing new ideas and fresh perspective on how to revitalize downtown Goshen.
Before I came on, there wasn't a lot of events that were going on in Goshen other than the standard, the Great American Weekends, the Joint Rep Turkey Trot, Halloween Party, and things like that. We didn't really have any musical events. We didn't have any arts event on a large scale. Certainly the schools do a lot of amazing things, but there's nothing downtown. We have 3 art walks a year now. We have music at the art walks. 2 of them we shut down the main road, so it's a big downtown event. 1 we do it in the fall, and we have pumpkin carving there for kids. And we're talking, we've had 500-600 people at these events. Last year, we took it a step further and we did the Keys of Goshen Piano Project. And we got old pianos donated. We had a fundraiser, we raised money, we had them refurbished, we had artists paint them, and we put them downtown for the summer season last year. And it was just absolutely magical. So now we're seeing other groups stepping up and doing things. So we formed the nonprofit Illuminate Goshen. My friend Molly O'Donnell, she runs it and just does a phenomenal job. And we have a ball drop every New Year's Eve. We just had our second this past December. The community spirit is coming back that I think was lost, a few years ago.
As a middle school social studies teacher, Kyle is in a unique position to pass on his knowledge and experience to other enterprising young minds.
If a young person asked me for advice why to go into politics, I would first say, why do you want to get involved? If you're going to go in for the right reason, to make the world a better place, to make your community a better place, those are slings and arrows that you can absorb and still look at yourself in the mirror. If you're going in because you seek power or acknowledgement or privilege, then you're going to crash and burn. And you're going to embarrass yourself, you're going to embarrass your community, and put your effort and energy somewhere else. But if someone was genuine about wanting to make the world a better place, I would tell them to read a lot, do a lot of research, be a sponge. There's so much information out there. Right now, I think it's all about the emerging technologies. I think that the world that we are in right now is going to be unrecognizable in 5 years, whether it's through green energy or nanotechnology. Artificial intelligence is huge, and I think that to be a leader of tomorrow, and tomorrow, like I said, 5 years from now, we need to understand that our economy is going to go through a major shift, where we're literally going to see hundreds of thousands of jobs vanish in the next 5 years. It's already happening. Anything that can be automated is. We're not going to have people driving cars in 5 years unless it's for a hobby. We're not going to have cashiers. We're not going to have toll booth workers. Even some more higher white-collar fields are going to be downsized. So if you want to be a leader, you need to understand those trends and come up with solutions. And if you're not solution-oriented, you shouldn't be a leader. So I would tell people in that position, follow your passion, keep learning, and just make sure you stay grounded.
Kyle is up for re-election this year. As he looks back proudly over his accomplishments, he is also optimistic that the village voters will entrust him to continue his vision for the village.
Whenever I leave office, whether that's 2 weeks from now, because my election is next week, or 2 years from now, or whatever, that vision will still be in place to bring the community into the future. And I think that, that's probably part of my legacy, that we'll have that visioning statement, that I initiated it, but it's not mine, it's the community's.